I'm joined today with Jason Yoakum. He's the CEO of the Saskatchewan Realtors Association. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today, Jason.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So today we're talking a bit about the market numbers from August. They've been down. They're slowing a little bit compared to June and July from what I saw, but it still looks like things are kind of improving from where we were earlier in the year. Can you just talk a little bit about what the state of the market is right now and what the numbers show from August?
Certainly, it seems to be still a seller's market out there across the province, and we did expect a bit of a cool down. That typically happens in any given year as far as sales in our industry, but it was still much higher than last year with about a 46% increase year over year for August, so that's very encouraging. And because we've had the last 3 months or so of very strong activity, we're ahead of last year to date, so very encouraging.
And obviously in March, when the lockdowns and stuff started happening, that's really when the market kind of grinded to a halt almost, or like a big portion of it did. And how much has the market rebounded, or what kind of things have you seen from March through the summer to now since the lockdowns were kind of prevalent here in Saskatchewan?
Certainly. So the nature of the market when we first got into this in March, we looked at other markets that had gone through pandemics or even other countries within this current pandemic that we're in. We wanted to get a real sense of what we could expect over the next few months. So, of course, we expected a significant decline in March. And in fact, we thought March, April might even be as much as a 75% decline in year over year activity, but it turned out only to be about a 50% decline. So we're quite pleased with that. But all those markets showed that there was a strong recovery post pandemic restrictions. And so we did see that. Part of it was timing in the market too, because certainly the spring market was delayed and got picked up again early in the summer and was very strong throughout the whole summer, as we've seen.
And then I wanted to ask about, do you think Saskatchewan is kind of better positioned just because of the size of the population and kind of how low in proportion to other provinces the case counts have been? Do you think Saskatchewan's kind of in a better position to have the market just rebound better and have the economy kind of start up better?
Yeah, it's a good question. No doubt, because we're more spread out in our population. We don't have some of the challenges that the denser cities have or denser locations. But also, our marketplace seems to be very resilient to a number of things that have happened economically, even for us prior to COVID. We seem to be diverse enough in our economy. Also, our housing prices, when compared across the country, are very affordable. So it's still a very good place to live, very good place to buy real estate. And interest rates are low, and it's actually a very ideal time to get into the market.
And when I was looking at the numbers that came out from August, I was looking at North Battleford, and that region seemed to have a very good, it seemed like the market was doing very well when it comes to homes in North Battleford. Can you just try and talk a little bit about that?
Certainly, we watched over the last 2 or 3 years, both North Battleford and Prince Albert had really some tough goes where their market was down a lot. But some things have really rebounded there in a very positive way. I think people are more optimistic, and they're willing to invest and take those risks and buy homes.
As we look forward into the fall and soon into the winter, what do you think the outlook for the next few months will look like?
Yeah, so as we look forward here, we noticed our inventory levels were slowly declining over the last couple of years. There was less new product coming on the market as far as resale homes. And I think we'll see a little bit of an uptake in the amount of property coming on the market. And we may see, of course, a bit of a cooling on the buying side. So that'll help stabilize our market a little bit over the next few months. And I'm hoping that economically, with some of the government programs starting to trail off and things like that, it doesn't affect us too badly in our marketplace.
And I just wanted to talk, last time I spoke with you, we talked a little bit about kind of open houses starting again, and there was safety protocols in effect. And obviously some people might have been doing kind of like virtual tours and stuff, but it's still, I feel, important for people when they're looking to actually go in and see the house. I just wanted to talk a bit about how kind of COVID has changed the way that people buy houses the past few months.
Certainly, I think there's changes that we'll probably see with us for a long time, and we were already well ahead of the game as far as
Mm-hmm.
virtual tours and doing things electronically and digitally that way. So that'll always be with us. But we were very careful to step out early with this, providing best practices and precautions so that the consumer could feel safe, whether they're the seller or the buyer, in going through property. And our members have adopted those practices very well, and to a point where we've not heard any complaints at our association from the public saying that people have been in their homes and not practicing those good safety practices. So I think we've just become adjusted to a new normal now, and whether it's wearing masks, only bringing the specific decision makers into a home to see the property, sanitizing and only touching things that are absolutely necessary, leaving lights on so that the realtor or the individual buyers don't have to touch light switches and so on. Those practices are now sort of ingrained in our membership, and they're practicing that going forward.
Well, thanks for taking some time to talk with me today, Jason.
You're very welcome. Thank you.